If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, and it looks like a duck, then by God, it's a duck. This is Masters Report. I'm John Masters, and you're not. All right, recently I did a video, and guys, it's getting worse. I told you this was going to happen. You got to watch it because you're going to need to get a hold of your congressman. It's the only way that you're going to stop this. Ventura County in California started up a program, and I got a video on it, and I'll give you a link to it so you could take a look at it. But essentially what they're going to begin doing is going door to door. In other words, when they're doing the contact tracing, let's say somebody says, well, yeah, I had lunch with Mike after he tested positive. Oh, yeah, we were together longer than 15 minutes. Well, they're going to come to your house to test you. They're going to come to your house. As a matter of fact, it's also going to give them the authority to pull people from a home that may test positive and end up in some, I'm sure it's a nice little hospital somewhere, I'm sure. Very comfortable, plush, probably one of the hotels that have been closed, penthouse suite, where you have a bathroom, because you have to have your own bathroom. You know that, that's part of the rules. So in the video, he was talking about how this is going to go national. He said it, I mean, about as clear as you possibly could. So I did a little clickbaiting, okay. This HR 6666, okay, it's 4 sixes, but come on, man, I had to put it in, 666. Who in their right mind makes a bill that talks about taking our rights, pulling us from homes, and even thinks of going ahead and putting 4 sixes in there? And unbelievable. That's our government for you. They think ahead. I want to show you what we got here. We got HR 6666, COVID-19 testing, reaching, and contacting everyone. Trace Act. That's important. I want you to remember that, okay? Because they're very ambiguous about the wordage right now. Very ambiguous. And then they do it on purpose. That way, as it goes through the House and then to the Senate, they can change it, refine it, and make it a little more detailed. But the committee is the Energy and Commerce Committee. Now, I'm kind of confused why the Energy and Commerce Committee is the one that's going to be handling this bill. But I'm sure, since our government makes so much sense, I'm sure there's a good reason. But let's take a look at what this is. To authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services, and again, why isn't this bill being run through Health and Human Services? I'm going to tell you why. It's because those that are in the committee are behind the plan, or behind this whole system. The Health and Services Committee probably is not in bed with it. So they're going to pick the group that's going to get it, or the committee that's going to get it as strong or as close to what they actually want. And what I mean by they, of course, is the globalists. To award grants to eligible entities to conduct diagnostic testing for COVID-19. I'm going to go into that a little bit more. Now, here's the scary part. And related activities. Really, what's the related activities? That's pretty broad. That's pretty open. Think the Patriot Act wasn't even supposed to be like that. Such as contact tracing through mobile health units, which means that they can go door to door if need be, and, as necessary, at individuals' residences. And again, we got to put this in. And for other purposes. So basically, we have related activities and for other purposes. Could those other purposes be to go ahead, if you test positive, call the police, have you pulled out? Dude, they're doing it in Ventura County, I'm telling you, okay? This is the committee members. I want you to take a look in description. I'll have a link to the full bill. Remember, it's introduced, it hasn't gone anywhere yet. So let's be clear about this. To authorize the Secretary of Health and Human Services to award grants to eligible entities to conduct diagnostic testing. So let's go into this in a little bit more detail here. This act may be cited as a COVID-19 testing reaching. We already talked about that. In general, the Secretary of Health. Now, this is the important part. This is really what they're wanting right here, okay? Why do we need mobile units unless it is about tracing, contact tracing. I can see it coming up here in the future, guys. Let's say the government, for whatever reason, decides that they don't like you. And the government never does this. Ask any police officer, and I've got videos to prove this. So let's say that they decide that they don't like you for some reason. They decide that they want or they suspect you of something and have no evidence for it. And let's even go to the drug war, to where they can do asset forfeiture. So let's bring it home, okay? Bring it right to you. Well, the cop just needs to come up and say, I think you have COVID-19. I want to know everybody that you've been in contact with. Let me see your phone. And then he's going to find out everybody that you've been in contact with. And he's going to then go to each one of those people and do contact tracing again. Guys, it's a huge expansion of the whole surveillance program. It's a huge expansion. The problem with the surveillance program, and people are going to say, but dude, it's been around for years. They've been doing it already. The difference is that going to court, they can't use it. They may be doing it, but it's not legal, which means it can't be used. This is going to give them the reasonable suspicion or justifiable cause, whatever you want to call it, to be able to now bring it to court. There's a difference, okay? Oh, and also, let's even skip the whole court thing. You got COVID. We got a hotel room over here. It's a Trump Tower hotel. You got the top suite. Anyways, to trace and monitor the contacts of infected individuals and to support the quarantine of such contacts. It says, as necessary, testing individuals and providing individuals with services related to testing and quarantine of their residence, at their residence. And of course, if you can't be quarantined at your residence, hey. Grants recipient under this section may use the grant funds in support of the activities described in subsection, which again, I'm going to have a link for you. I'm just hitting the hot points, okay? All right, now, if you look down over here on one of the terms or one of the reasons for the bill, and this is really, really scary. If you have a population and you're the government and the population's poor and it's taking up space, okay, and you're not collecting a lot of income revenue, nor are you collecting a lot of taxes on that individual, you're going to be what? You're going to be the most expendable that the government has. Now, the term medically undeserved communities. All right, let me translate that for you. Medically undeserved communities, meaning poor people. In other words, they can't afford to go to the hospital. So they're going to come to you whether you like it or not. Has a meaning given to that term in Section 70B of the Public Health Services Act, which you can click the link should you decide to go there. All right, guys, that's just like a quick overview of it. I would highly recommend that you take a look at it. It's scary stuff. It's going to give the states and counties and cities the funds necessary to do what they were talking about in Ventura County. He warned everybody. He said, it's going to expand. It's going to go to other counties. It's going to go to the states. As a matter of fact, it might even go to the whole United States. Gotta, open up a door. And this is a door. Come on, man. 6666. That's what you're going to name a bill that has to do with hauling people away. I'm John Masters. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Make sure to subscribe. Click that join button. $99 a month. We need it.